Good morning. All right, today we'll go ahead and start with section 16, Denunciation of the Mind. In our opening prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vivishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Blo Sakura Shivananda Maharaja Ki. Om Blo Shri Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaja Ki. Jai Ma. Jai to Swami Jyotirmayananda. The first thing that comes up with denunciation of the mind, we just finished a couple of sections here. Denunciation of egoism and denunciation of wealth. So I think one of the things we'll bring up when we all come together to discuss is the difference between denunciation and renunciation. I think that's just a contemplation there. Right, but I will go ahead and start. Sri Rama continued, "This mind is very fickle and unstable, like the glittering feather of a peacock fluttering in the wind. This restless mind continues to wander among the petty objects of the world, even like a street dog, devoid of discriminative intelligence. A basket made of straw remains ever empty, even though water is poured constantly into it. In the same way, the mind continues to be empty in spite of the experiences of divine pleasures of the senses. Like a forlorn deer that has wandered away from its herd and fallen into a pit, this mind has wandered away from the self, has fallen into the pit of the world process, and is now fettered by various desires for the world. Just as the boisterous ocean does not come to rest, so too this mind finds no rest. It is as turbulent as the milky ocean. It is as turbulent as the milky ocean was when it was first churned, except that it yields no nectarine happiness." The churning of the oceans, there's several different stories. Essentially, this idea of the Asuras and the Devas taking a snake and tying it around the mountain, which was turned upside down, and churning it in the ocean, and first pops out the poison and then pops out the Amrit. And the Amrit was first taken by the Asuras, who I guess we could say demons. And then one of the Devas had turned into this beautiful woman, and this distracted the demons, and then the Devas, or the angels, I suppose, were able to get a hold of in Ayurveda, this is at least the story. I think there's several versions of this, but in Ayurveda, it's the elixir of immortality, the divine nectar. So this is what they're referring to here. When the ocean was first churned, it says, it is as turbulent as the milky ocean when it was first churned, except that it yields no nectarine happiness. Swami Jyotirmayananda continues here. The Puranas, he's going to explain this. The Puranas represent a mystic story about the churning of the Milky Ocean. The Milky Ocean was churned by the gods and demons, and various precious materials were recovered. Nectar was central purpose for churning the ocean. This Milky Ocean represents the purified mind. Churning is the process of meditation. Gods and demons are the forces of sattva, purity, and rajas, activity. The milky ocean was churned by gods and demons, and various precious materials were recovered. Nectar was the central purpose for churning the ocean. This milky ocean represents the purified mind. Churning is the process of meditation. Gods and demons are the forces of sattva, purity, and rajas activity. Its treasures are the spiritual values of life. Nectar is self-realization. Okay, so here's the version here from Swamiji. And the story continues. I am unable to control this great ocean of mind, which is filled with the whirlpools of worldly desires and is inhabited by the whales of deception. This mind continues to wander like a deer, grazing upon the petty pleasures of the world, unaware of the impending doom of hellish conditions. Like a lion imprisoned in a cage, this mind is fettered by its own desires. It does not find rest even for a single moment. This mind has stolen equal vision from the soul. It has sustained the illusion that this body itself is the conscious soul. I'm just going to highlight that section there. The intrinsic movement of the mind towards the self is lulled to sleep on the bed of attachment to the objects of the world. Without the awakening caused by scriptures and sages, this mind cannot be awakened. This chitta, the mind, is like a bird trapped in the net woven by erroneous thoughts such as, this is mine, this is myself, this object will give me happiness. The fires of worries and anxieties are constantly consuming the forest of the mind. A male dog following a female dog goes to a rotting carcass and feeds upon it with great pleasure. In the same way, the chitta, the mind, follows the vile cravings of Trishna and is delighted with the perishable pleasures of the world. Swamiji doesn't mince words, huh? Just as a storm raises a dust cloud, so this mind has raised the dust cloud of attachment and infatuation through the storm of its restless desires. A pitcher tied to a rope is constantly drawn up and down the well. In the same way, the mind tied to the rope of desire is led to heaven and hell, birth and death, and high and low states due to its karma. O sage, this mind is hotter than fire, more inaccessible than a mountain, and more invulnerable than a thunderbolt. It is difficult to conquer even through immense effort. Like a vulture that falls upon rotting carcasses, this mind is constantly falling upon the pleasures of the world. O sage, I think that it is possible to drink the ocean. It is possible to cross over the Sumuru mountains or to devour fire. But I do not see how it is possible to control the turbulent mind. The mind is the basis for perceiving all the objects of the world. It is the basis of the world process. Without curing this mind, it is impossible to attain freedom from the afflictions of the world. This mind will continue to cause the growth of afflictions just as forests grow in the mountain valleys. Therefore, it is my resolve to destroy this mind in order to attain freedom from the world process. I'm just going to take a look. All right, we'll go ahead and stop there today. We'll start with denunciation of craving next. All right. Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnamudashate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Sakura Shivananda Maharaja Ki. Om Bolo Shri Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaja Ki. Jai Ma, Jai Tu, Swami Jyotir Mayananda. Om.